breaking right now at 10, a shocking Sooner win. OU beating Alabama at the Palace on the Prairie in Norman. Fans rushing the field as the celebrations begin. The Sooners pulling out a big win, 24-3 over the Crimson Tide. And we're bringing you team coverage of the Oklahoma Sooners beating the number 7 team in the country. I'm Sean Talavaro, joined by sports director Brian Keating tonight.
What a win for Oklahoma. You think about their football season and where they've been, and this is one of the most prestigious programs in all of college football. You think about the disappointing start to the Brent Venables era in 3 years, year one being under 500, and you just look for all the world like that was going to happen again. Now you're talking about a football coach who over the last couple of weeks, there have been a lot of questions about is he going to be the head football coach at Oklahoma moving forward. Even had the athletic director and the university president have to come to his aid. And then tonight to see Oklahoma against Alabama and Sooner fans rush the field. What a remarkable scene at Memorial Stadium. And look, this started early for Oklahoma. I mean, big plays and big plays. And it was the OU defense, I think you got to hang your hat there. The OU defense and what Brent Venables has brought to this football program, I think a toughness. They had a bye week last week. The toughness of this football team to just stay in the fight. You got to give them a ton of credit. And I look at Brent Venables and all the questions that have been around his job and where this program is headed. And now you're talking about an Oklahoma Sooners win against Alabama. And it's not just you're talking about the number 7 team in the country. You're talking about the University of Alabama, and the Sooners win 24-3. Guys, if you can reload those highlights, I want to go through some of these highlights because what a night at Oklahoma. And here's the thing about being in Memorial Stadium as well. They don't always have their biggest game of the year at home, and this was their biggest game of the year. We had circled it for a long, long time, and no one gave Oklahoma a chance. Nobody gave OU a chance to win at home. It's a remarkable night. It's a night nobody saw coming. And so I know we've got team coverage tonight. We'll get to everything else in the rest of the show. But we are live at Memorial Stadium, outside Memorial Stadium. Dakota Wapakichi, as people are piling out of an electric Memorial Stadium. I think it's one of those nights, Dakota, if you're an OU fan, you will never forget.
No, I know. I've heard so many people walking by. You can see them right now. They're kind of heading to their cars, heading to the restaurants, the bars here to just kind of celebrate a big win, yelling Boomer. It's something that everybody's thinking about right now. Obviously, you're here on Campus Corner where there's a ton of fans. We're talking to one right now. Let's bring him in right here. Now, obviously, this is a huge game for OU. Can you talk about, being a fan, what it means to you?
It's very big because Bama hadn't been here since the early 2000s. And the last time Bama was here, OU won. And now OU wins again. I mean, it makes up for that playoff loss that they gave us a couple years ago. But this is huge. This is huge.
Now, obviously, this was a very highly ranked Bama team that was talked about, being in the playoffs. What does it mean that, you beat a team of that level?
Well, it's that great because it means OU's on the comeback and we're bowl eligible and we're going to go to a bowl game. And it just means that OU is going to be fine.
All righty, well, I appreciate your time. And there's a lot of fans in here, not just OU fans. We've seen a bunch of Bama. One of them were talking to me. They were really sad about that. Obviously this is a huge loss for their program. But not just that. We also have some fans that came all the way down from northern Oklahoma. I'm not kidding with you guys. Look at this. Texas Tech fans. They went to the game in Stillwater. Can I have you switch? And they went to the game in Stillwater, and they were like coming back to Oklahoma City, and they said, there's something crazy going on in Norman. So they had to get down to Campus Corner in Norman. Obviously, this is a huge win for you guys, for Tech, and then seeing what's going on here, seeing this, what was going through your head?
It's unbelievable. We're on our way down here. We see 10-3 OU, and it's like we got to get down here and see what's going on. We park over a half a mile away, and we can hear everybody from the stadium from where we're at. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and so obviously, you came all the way down from Stillwater. Just being Tech fans, is this something that just was like, whoa, like we had to go?
Oh yeah, just unbelievable. Yeah. A lot different than our games.
Have you ever been to Campus Corner in Norman and everything?
Oh, I have, man. Like, I went when we played a couple weeks ago, and I was like, man, I got to come back. I got to come back.
Well, what an awesome memory for you guys, and thank you so much for your time. Yeah, we'll have more from Campus Corner, and Norman, obviously, Keating and Hannah are going to be looking at all this.
Let a naysayer know.
All righty, thank you, Dakota. And a whole lot of fans are definitely going to have a good night tonight.
Yeah, no question, no question.
And you were just telling me it's been more than 2 decades since fans stormed the field like that?
Yeah, it was, in the 90s, Oklahoma was very down. And so they had Nebraska coming. That was kind of the moment that you thought, okay, Oklahoma is back in year number 2 in the Bob Stoops era. And so last time they rushed the field was against Nebraska in 2000. And Oklahoma went on to win the national championship there. They're obviously not going to win the national championship here, but they get their 6th win. They're bowl eligible. And again, for Brent Venables and company, what a win at Oklahoma. I want to go back to Memorial Stadium, high above the field, where I'm guessing there's probably still some fans getting out there. I want to go to Hannah Hoover, because Hannah, you're in the stadium. I want to know about the environment tonight, because that was unique to Oklahoma. That kind of environment isn't every Saturday. And I know, you know, to see that, what was the atmosphere like inside Memorial Stadium?
Brian, this place is still rocking. No one has left, to answer your question. The entire field is absolutely full of people, and the DJ is next to us. Everyone is rocking. This is unlike anything I've seen here, obviously, in my time in Oklahoma. Having everyone storm the field, all the excitement. Like you said, Brian, at the beginning of the show, no one thought this was going to happen. And they just totally, the Sooners put everyone to shame with those comments, and they silenced them. So it was so much fun to see players like Danny Stutzman on the big screen just celebrating. He had a huge game tonight, and the emotions were so high. I think Brent Venables was very special to listen to. I saw him on the sideline at the beginning of the game. He was so electric and also very calm, I might add. At the end of the game, those emotions were high, and it's a huge breath of fresh air for the Sooners. And the Sooner fans, well, they're going to be partying for quite some time tonight.
About Brent, because we've talked about it on our show, and it's been everywhere. Obviously, this is going to calm everything down, but I think from my perspective, what Brent was able to do and keep this team together, Hannah, how big was this not only for him, but certainly for the University of Oklahoma, and just to stabilize everything? Calm down, everybody. We're going to be just fine. Obviously, an enormous win tonight.
Oh, it was an enormous win. It really was a must win, obviously for the bowl game, but speaking of Brent Venables, it really puts him at ease, I think, in some ways, because you solidified a bowl game. You have a huge hometown crowd celebrating, and all those naysayers, if you will, the people who counted them out, you know, now there's not much to say when you beat a number 7 Alabama Crimson Tide. That's not an easy task. Hasn't happened right here at Memorial since 2002. That's over 20 years. So I think at the end of this game, my jaw dropped. I knew it was going to happen. We all did, because we saw the score throughout the game, but no one expected this. And I think Brent Venables, man, what a big break for him. I know they've been working tirelessly, and that's what I meant by when I saw him at the beginning of the game. I mean, there's a lot of sacrifice, I think, that comes with this job, obviously, and seeing the post-game interview, hearing the post-game interview, what a breath of fresh air for this Sooner staff. Brent Venables at the top of the list.
There's no question about it. We'll get back out to you here in just a little bit. I should say, you know, you mentioned Brent Venables and sort of the redemption for Brent tonight. I also see it for Jackson Arnold as well. You know, the quarterback who was replaced in the Tennessee game. Here comes Michael Hawkins. Michael Hawkins is out after the South Carolina troubles in the first half. And then Jackson Arnold, there's so many questions around Jackson Arnold. So it's not just Brent, it's Jackson Arnold, the way he played, the way he ran the football. And so we've been talking about Brent Venables. Let's go to that sound right after the game where Brent is on the field. He's talking to Holly Rowe as everybody around him. This is one of the, I think, will be an iconic moment, certainly of his tenure thus far. But it's just, the storming of the field is something you don't happen in Norman all the time. So here's the head coach of the Sooners, Brent Venables.
Oh, they were absolutely amazing. I told them winning never negotiates. You know, we finally did the things that winning requires, and what a all 3 phases, how well they complemented each other. These guys, man, they're amazing. Their guts and their toughness, and they punch first, they punch back. And tonight, we finally punched last.
I mean, that is an excited head coach, an excited football program, and I think for sure. And I think one of the nights Oklahoma Sooners fans will talk about in 5, 10, 20 years, the night that everyone rushed the field and they beat Alabama, and now they think we're back. And I think that happened tonight.